Welcome to New Business in Later Life, where we prove that it's never too late to pursue your entrepreneurial dreams. You will meet remarkable individuals who launch successful businesses over 50, sharing their stories, challenges, and enthusiasm. Your host, Ildiko, is a former social housing professional, textile designer, and teacher who described herself as a life artist. She is now a property professional, business network host, and facilitator of the Entrepreneurs Club. Subscribe now to hear these inspiring stories every week.
They're going to ban ASTS, so assured short-hold tenancies.
Yeah, we kind of started at,
Yeah, so at the moment, the standard tenancy agreement is an assured short-hold tenancy.
Yes.
And that can be 6 months, it could be 2 weeks if you want, but anything up to 3 years. Standardly, it's 6 months or 12 months.
Yes.
And they said they're going to ban it and just make them periodic, so just month after month after month, to make it more secure.
Why is that good for a tenant?
The government said it's good for tenants because it makes it more secure. I don't know how that makes it more secure. That's like saying black is white. That doesn't make it more secure.
I was going to say, it depends on what the other side is. Like currently, okay, you have to give a tenant a minimum 6 months tenancy.
Well, you don't. You could give 2 weeks. You could. But
With an AST, is it not a minimum 6 months?
No.
Anyway.
But 6 months is very standard, or 12.
While a tenant needs to give 1 month's notice,
yes,
a landlord needs to give 2 months' notice.
Yes.
So
and that's after the 6 months.
Yeah. So with the periodic tenancy, but it just renews month after month.
Yes, the tenant gives 2 months, and at the moment they're saying the landlord will need to give either 3 or 4 months.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, but they don't. I don't know yet what it's going to be.
It's a speculation.
All sorts of speculation.
To be honest, whether it's an AST or a periodic technically makes no difference. It's the sub rules of how much notice each party needs to give.
Is. I don't know why they say it'll make it more secure for tenants. Make it easier for them to leave. That if they decide after a month they're going to move job or something, it's easier for them to move.
And the thing is, actually, if it's a periodic tenancy, technically there's like a month notice in advance. In a way, anyway. So why would they make it a rule that the tenant needs to give 2 months' notice when it doesn't actually apply? That the tenancy agreement nature, by being periodic, overrules then in a way.
Don't know until it happens. I don't know.
True.
I think that at one point they said if within the first 6 months or within the first year they'd have to give 2 months.
Okay, and then after that it's just a month. So see what happens.
We'll see what happens, but
because
it's going to be longer for the landlord, whichever way it goes.
But then, and any other thing, like if they don't pay rent or they are causing antisocial behaviour and so on and so on. If they breach any condition of their tenancy, then the landlord just can act upon it anyway.
But
so
you have to take them to court when the Renters' Rights Bill come in. Right now, with an AST, you can give a Section 21 notice. You don't need to put a reason on it.
Well, but this is the thing. So if somebody has rent arrears, you give them the appropriate notice, not a Section 21 notice.
Yes, you do.
And then the tenant then needs to sort themselves out. They need to pay
they do, but if they don't go,
then it goes to court.
It goes to court. So now or if you issued the Section 21, you don't go to court.
The thing is, though, that's even now it's unfair to give the tenant a Section 21 notice when they owe rent. Legally, do you not have to use the right ground?
No, because the Section 21, you don't need a ground.
Well, I know, but isn't it immoral to serve a tenant a Section 21 notice when they owe rent when there are grounds for rent arrears?
I don't think it's immoral. I can't see that it's immoral. It's just a quicker way, because with a Section 8, you'd have to go to court. But with a Section 21, you don't have to go to court unless they don't go.
Yeah.
You can just issue a Section 21. You can just write it out and say, there you go.
I must admit, I'm a lot more familiar with the social housing application of these. I mean, same grounds, but slightly different in social housing. Yeah. Okay.
So there won't be a Section 21's going. It's an easy way to get rid of people, but the possession of your property.
That's horrible. Because I really hate that phrase, getting rid of tenants.
Because in the press,
how bad they are.
All the time now in the press you hear about no-fault evictions. And it's like landlords are horrible. They're evicting me for no reason. But with an AST, the only way you can legally ask someone to leave after the contract's finished, when the contract ends like 6 months or 12 months, it doesn't just stop and that's the tenant goes bye-bye.
Well, it kind of becomes a periodic tenancy anyway.
Yes,
it's just it fixes the first 6 months.
Yes, it does, but it doesn't end at 6 months. So you have to, the only way to end it, the only way a landlord can end it is by issuing a Section 21.
Right, because
so they'll say
theoretically, when somebody receives an AST for 6 months and then it becomes periodic, effectively you actually give a 6 months notice, but you also need to attach that notice to it, do you not? A kind of, if you want someone to move out after 6 months.
You have to, and you can't do it for the first 4 months of it. So you've got to give them that bit of paper. So it's not a no-fault eviction. It's just the legal method of regaining possession of your property. That's sort of Section 24.
Yeah.
But it can also be used.
Like it's more like a no reason.
It is no reason. And it would be so easy to put a line on it. Because most landlords won't get rid of tenants for no reason if they're paying their rent.